if it's morning for you guys, but it's definitely morning for me. It's 4:30 in the morning. I'm on my way to the DR. I don't know if you guys have ever traveled to the DR, but if you guys do, make sure that you guys fill out the e-ticket. It's a guest legal document that the DR requires you to have, and the people at the airport, like the Frontier people, was literally yelling at us so bad because, well, not us, but people in the line, because they didn't have their e-ticket filled out. I look crazy. I got my eyelashes done, but I didn't like it, so I started plucking them out. But I'm gonna do my lashes when I get to the resort, so we'll just check in when I get there. So once you actually land at the airport, you do have to go through customs, which literally takes forever. But once you get out of customs, you can exchange your currency, which I don't recommend because you're going to end up paying more. But this is what you'll see when you get through the airport. It's giving vacation vibes, vacation vibes. So we got in our taxi, which we paid for through the airport, not the people that was standing outside of the airport. But they even told us not to book with them because they charge you pretty much $30 per ride, whereas we only paid $60 for our taxi for the entire time we were there. And he literally took us wherever we wanted to go, whenever we wanted to go. We just had to hit him up through WhatsApp. Now, to get into the resort, we stayed at Barcelo Bavaro Grand Resort, but specifically the one that we stayed at was Barcelo Bavaro Beach, the adults only. With it being an adults only resort, I thought that it was going to be more lit than what it was. But if I had to give it a rating, I'd give it a 7 out of 10. It wasn't the worst. The other half of the resort, the Palace, is where a lot more of the activities are going on. But I was just grateful to be out the country, okay? So once you do check in, you do have to have these wristbands. That's how you get around the resort. This is your key to open up your door, and they also greet you with drinks. But if you don't have that wristband, you have to pay $100 if you lose it. Just letting you know. So we took this trip for my mother-in-law's birthday, and I just thought that this was the perfect way to start it off with these drinks at the resort. It was just a cute little touch on it. Now let's get into the rooms. So I wasn't the most happy about the rooms. They definitely look different on the pictures and from the reviews that I was looking at. It's not really what I was expecting, like, at all. And this is not the room that we ended up staying in. I was actually very unhappy, so I went and had my room upgraded. But this is what they all the rooms pretty much look the same, and they look like this. I did feel like there was a little false advertisement going on due to the fact that they said that there was going to be an open bar in the room, but it was only 3 beers that came in. So definitely not giving open bar. And then there was a stench of mildew as well on this side of the resort. So that's why I had them completely move everything. They changed my room and they changed the building that we were staying in. And I did also end up finding out that this specific resort is the oldest resort that they've built in the DR, which I didn't know that. But once they changed my room, I decided to just deal with it, go and get dressed. So this is outfit on a day 1. I didn't do my hair. I didn't have time to, y'all. But this is how we're looking. Got it from Shein. It's a little 3-piece, so yeah. I love this outfit down bad, okay? Real bad. But I love everything I buy from Shein. I stay on there. I pretty much bought my entire life off of there. But anyway, moving on. So in order to get around the resort, you do have to get on this choo-choo train. This is literally how you make it around the resort. They come and pick you up on the choo-choo train, and they take you to either the suites, the Palace, or whatever other side of the resort you want to go to. We end up going to the beach to go see what type of activities were there. And when I say I was even disappointed with the beach, I was even disappointed with the beach. I thought that I was going to be looking at the most gorgeous crystal blue water, but look at this. Look at what we ended up walking up on. There was so much seaweed all over the place, and it stunk. It literally smelled like rotten fish, rotten seaweed. It was just not it. I was so mad. But apparently this is the time of year where all the seaweed washes up, and that later on in the year is when all the seaweed goes away, I guess. Either way, I was upset. But we ended up walking to the pier. We took some cute pictures. And then after that, we just ended up going to the poolside because we were just disappointed with the beach. It literally was not what we were expecting at all. And I'm going to get more into the water a little later. Now, getting into the pools, they did have like 4 or 5 different pools, and they have a swim-up bar. We were at the Palace, so that's why you see a lot of families and kids. Once you go to the Palace, you now leave from the adults-only side, and you enter into the kid-friendly side. This is the swim-up bar that I was telling you guys about, but we did end up taking the choo-choo train back to the adults-only side, and they were having a lot of water festivities going on. Child, when I say he started throwing that thing, I mean he started throwing it, okay? I was weak for days, okay? I ended up getting inside the pool because I had to see it from the front, child. I seen it from the back, I had to see it from the front, and it wasn't a disappointment. We had so much fun at the pool, but after looking at them, I ended up working myself up an appetite. So then we went to go eat, and let's get into some of the food. This is one of the several buffets, and of course I had to get me a little drinky drink. Now, getting into the buffet, there is so much to choose from. They had American food, like as far as burgers, pastas, they had a lot. This was actually, I think on the 3rd day, I was having so much fun and I was eating so much that I kept forgetting to record. But I'm gonna let you guys just sit back and go ahead and look at the buffet. It had a lot to offer. It also had a vegan side as well. Shout out to all the vegans. My mom is a vegan. So, hey mom, I know you're watching. There's something for you to eat too, girl. They did have fresh grilled meats to order every single meal. Well, breakfast, it was obviously like omelets to order and eggs to order, but for lunch and dinner, they had steaks to order, pork chops, ribs, and they were fresh off the grill. So that was another thing that I really liked about that resort. And then they also had crab legs too, girl. You know, I love me a good crab leg. So I was tearing down the crab legs lunch and dinner every day. And then they were fresh caught from the ocean right next to it. So, I was eating real good, okay? I was eating real good. Not only did they have like a different variety of American food, but they did have a lot of Dominican dishes, which obviously it's the DR. So I did want to taste a lot of their food as well, which I did get the opportunity to. Going back, the only thing I would change, one of my biggest regrets at the resort is I was eating at the buffet so much that I didn't book the reservations at the resort that they already have as far as like the restaurants. The restaurants come a part of the all-inclusive. We only ate at one of them, which I'll get into that a little later, but there was a Chinese one, there was a hibachi one, there was a lot of other restaurants that came a part of the all-inclusive that I didn't go to because I was tearing that buffet down, but it was still good either way. I was very well fed, I will say. Like I said, there was so much food to choose from, and this was from only one of the buffets. There was still two more over on that side. There was just so much food, and I was in hog heaven because one thing about me, I love to eat. I'm a foodie real bad. But at least you know you won't be starving. We were eating a lot of watermelon because I did not drink any of the water there. I don't know, I just didn't trust it. But this is that vegan bar that I was telling you guys about. Shout out to the vegans. Woo! But I ended up going to a grocery store and buying cases of water. So that's where we got our water from. And yes, it was different vegan dishes every single meal. So they had vegan breakfast, vegan lunch, and then vegan dinner. And it was different every single day. So you guys have options. So after we ate, Bae and I went upstairs, we showered, and went back down to see what type of night festivities they had. And I brought my little speaker with me because I wanted to play my own little music, my own little 1-2. But they did end up having a live saxophone artist, which I loved. I loved that so much. I was the only one that was down there really turned up. It was me and this other lady. But yeah, it had me a good time. Now, child, don't let me start drinking tequila and start getting on somebody's dance floor because I got 2 left feet, okay? I know how to throw it from the back, but I don't know how to dance. I don't know how to do that. I'm not. It's so bad. I got 2 left feet, y'all. I be struggling, but I be out there having fun, all right? I am just so not coordinated at all. It's embarrassing. Don't y'all come for me in the comments, okay? Leave me alone. This is when I realized they was recording me. But yeah, I had to throw my little pictures in there. I felt like I was doing my big one. I felt like I was being cute. Me and Bae. So that was a wrap for day 1. This is what one of the pools looked like at night, and it was definitely giving. I sat at the bar for a little while and continued to have drinks with me and Bae. And in the morning, we went back to the beach to see what excursions they had. We booked all of our excursions while we were there in the DR, and I recommend doing it that way because it was a lot cheaper and you can negotiate the prices. And if you know, you know. So we ended up doing the water raft boat, which was so much fun. We only ended up paying $15 per person for the water raft boat, and they also took pictures and videos for us. We paid for that separately though. I believe the guy charged us $30 for all of it, which I was fine with paying. So currently we're on the boat. We about to go flying.
They're about to swing us.
They about to swing us.
I still got my do-rag on. Oh well.
Oh yeah, you did.
It's alright.
Alright. And this is actually the video that they recorded for us. I'm not sure why a lot of these clips came in looking blurry because on my end, like in my phone, they are all clear. Once I started editing the videos, I don't know, I guess the file compressed, but that's neither here or there. But once you get your video, it is going to be very, very clear. But I would definitely recommend this excursion because it was a lot of fun, and they was throwing us around like rag dolls on that little water raft boat. They were literally throwing us. They didn't record all of it, but they recorded a good bit. And here's the pictures. We had so much fun on that thing, and I love that they was able to capture these. All right, so enough of that. So the next excursion that we did go on the banana boat. This was $10 each per person. They were trying to charge us $20, but we talked the man down. This was actually really fun. I didn't get any videos or pictures of this one, but this is another highly recommended. Now, while we're on the topic of excursions that we did on the beach, the next day after we got a little dancing in and a little drink, me and Babe was about to start tearing it up, but they turned the music off on us like that. Y'all see that? They try to play us. But anyway, we went walking the beach and we ended up getting talked into going parasailing, which that was $40 per person. And child, when I was walking that beach, I was so drunk. They gonna make sure that you get lit, okay? That's one thing they is gonna make sure you do. And then I had the nerve to have on this crazy red lipstick, child, just looking a drunk hot mess. But it was worth it though. I had fun. Now, I have a fear of heights all of a sudden after the military, but I did not have a fear this day because I was so pumped up with that gasoline, that liqueur, okay? But they took you up so high. I didn't even realize how high we was until I took off my sunglasses. My sunglasses are prescription, so they make things look a lot closer. As soon as I took them things off, I was like, oh Lord. I would say time-wise, you're up there in the air for maybe about 10 minutes, and then they dip you, like they dunk you in the water, they take you back up, and then they bring you back down. So all in all, I say you're up. It's about a 15 to 20 minute excursion. And this is when they brought us back down. The guy who was driving the boat, he's actually the one who took the pictures for us as well. And then we end up talking them into letting us jump off the side of the boat and go swimming a little bit. They'll let you do whatever you want to do as long as you tip them. That's one thing that I learned since being out there in the DR. As long as you tip, you can really do whatever you want to do.
And then get in. All right now.
Where are we getting on?
Go to him. Swim.
Yeah, we definitely were not supposed to be jumping off that boat because he was like, jump in and then immediately come and get out.
Start swimming. So
me and my sister-in-law did just that. We jumped in and then we swam and we got out. Then it was time for my husband's turn. But he acted like he was scared.
This shit's crazy. Why am I doing this? I don't know. I'm scared.
You got it, babe. Go. Go, babe.
Tell nobody.
Oh, you scared about this?
Now, I'm fucking scared, all right?
Go, babe. Go.
No,
Go ahead. You're not getting
babe, go.
I'm scared.
Then come back.
Man, you know what, man?
Come back.
Fuck you guys. Oh, shit.
Who said fuck you? What the hell I gotta do with it?
Then the man asked if he wanted to do it again, and this was his answer.
Yes.
Hell no, I'm not doing that.
Moving on to more beach activities, this was the following day. We ended up going on a party yacht. Now, the yacht that we went on was called the Malibu, and it was $100 total for all four of us. They tried to charge us $150 or $160, but we talked them down to $100. And of course, I was in my own world having a good time, but this is when they're taking us from the beach to the yacht. So once you actually got on the yacht, this is what it was looking like from the top. The water in the DR is very different, I will say. Parts of it's green, parts of it's blue-green, and then other parts of it is just a weird dark brown. I'm not sure what that's about, but yeah, it kind of creeped me out a little bit. Here's a look at another one of the yachts, and then here's a look at my other swimsuit. I love this one so much, and yes, I also got it from Shein. But then we got ready to go downstairs and go snorkel. They do provide all the snorkel gear for you. I did end up bringing a waterproof case for my phone, so that's how I was able to get a lot of the footage in the water. I thought it was going to be more clear than what it came out to be. I don't know, I guess my phone was having a hard time focusing with the waterproof cover over it, but There was still a lot of fish and stuff underneath us. They had brought some sandwiches from the boat and started feeding the fish in the water. So we ended up having like schools of fish that was underneath us. It was very, very pretty. But again, the footage wouldn't focus right, so I didn't get to show you guys that. But here's what you can see. It was honestly a very beautiful experience. I would definitely do it again. But after you get done with the snorkel, then they end up driving the yacht over to the dolphin encounter. I guess this is where they keep the dolphins. And we end up seeing a couple of those. They also have sharks in there as well. Now, at this point, I was just sitting there minding my own business at the front of the yacht, and then here they want to go shoving more rum down our throats. I don't even drink rum, okay? I don't drink rum at all. So I end up getting lit. This is that Dominican rum, baby. Like, that, it's gonna tear you up. The drinks and the snacks was included. I'm telling you, they had me so lit. I was up there twerking my ass off at the nose of the yacht. I was having such a good time, y'all. I was in my own world, all right? But anyway, they get you drunk and then they take you over to where all the other yachts are. They pretty much dock that, and then they have a slide on the side of the boat where you're allowed to go down. The water was so murky. Girl, it was that Dominican rum that had me not caring, and I did get inside of it. Ooh, I can't believe I did that. Looking back now, I probably wouldn't do it again, but it was fun while I did it. Yeah, this is what I meant earlier when I said some parts of the water's green, other parts blue, other parts brown. This part was brown. Yeah, I won't be doing that again. But remember when I told y'all that I have 2 left feet? Well, we're back to dancing. My mother-in-law was trying to show me how to do these Spanish dances. Child, I will never be able to understand it. Number 1, I'm uncoordinated. Number 2, it's just not gonna happen. But again, I was pumped up off that Dominican rum. So to me, I was just having a good time. And what's sad is that we go through this every year where they're always trying to teach me how to do these dances, and I still can't get it. I still don't know how to do them. But again, I just don't know how to dance, period. But you know, we did have to get some mother and son action. My husband's better than me, but he still can't dance either. My mother and sister-in-law are from Puerto Rico, so that's why they know how to do all this very, very well. I'm not, so I'll get there one day. I'll get there eventually. So that's it for the boat ride. Now let's get into the excursions that we did off the beach. So I'm sure that you heard of La Hacienda Park. If you haven't, it's a excursion that has like 7 different excursions built into one. So they come pick you up on this big purple bus and they drive you to the La Hacienda Park. It's an 1.5-hour drive, but it's completely worth it, I'm telling you. So we paid $100 per person for La Hacienda, and the views, let me start by saying the views are like so beautiful. You're pretty much in the mountains, in the tropicals, but they did their big one with that. You are required to have a mask with you, which they provide. You see this Dominican flag that my husband has in his hand? That's the mask. And they also provide the helmets and whatever protective gear you need while you're at the park. They also provide lockers, and you keep the key with you, and you don't have to pay extra for that. So before we move on, let's get into exactly what you do while you're at La Hacienda Park. So this is literally an all-day excursion. Like I said, the big purple bus comes, picks you up outside of your resort at 8 a.m. sharp, and you don't get back to your resort until about 5 or 6 p.m. It's literally all day. So first up, you have ATV riding. Then you have zip lining. Then they take you to lunch. After that, you have horseback riding. And this is not in this specific order, but these are just the things that they have. And then they also have the safari ride. So the first activity of the day that we did, we ended up doing ATV riding. Make sure that you do not wear anything that you seriously care about. I made sure to stop by 5 and Below before I left to make sure that I had something to wear for the ATV riding because I was not about to destroy it. Well, my shoes did get destroyed, but make sure you don't have things that you actually care about on there because your items and your clothes is going to be muddy. And another thing, y'all, that mud is so cold. Like, when you're getting splashed by all that mud, it is so cold.
Actually, dang, I upgraded my shoes.
I'm telling you, it's just a straight mud shower. The longer you're on the ATV, the bigger the puddles get and the more you get covered in mud.
Hey, I saw that again, mommy. All right, so then chill. Relax.
So they do stop to let everybody switch so that everyone can get a chance to drive. But if you do want your own separate bucket, you have to pay $60 extra. But I didn't mind just switching. But it was my time to get in the driver's seat, and I was throwing that ATV. It's low-key kind of hard to drive, I'm not going to lie.
Here we go.
There is a part in the ride where they stop all the ATVs and it's like a tunnel waterfall and they run you underneath it. And I forgot to mention that while you're at La Hacienda Park, you have a photographer that's literally following you around taking pictures of you. So when they run you through the waterfall tunnel, the guy is literally just snapping a bunch of pictures and stuff. It's a cool experience. Halfway through, you do stop again at this little river cove to wash off. It's pointless, but they take you to do that.
Dirty. Look at the glasses.
Can't even see.
Oh my goodness.
And look at my shoes. Not gonna lie, the colorway is kind of fire. Nike, get at me.
Leave it in the bucket.
Oh, okay.
That one. Oh my God.
So they have you park the buggies, you get out, and then you walk down to this, again, it's like a river cove thing. It's very, very slippery. I mean, very, very, very slippery. So make sure that y'all, if you're clumsy like I am, be careful going down those rocks. But the views here was also very beautiful. I almost broke my damn neck.
Watch your step now. Oh, watch your step.
I better not get no bacterial disease.
Just dunk yourself.
Better not, no. I'm not gonna dunk, but I better not get no disease, tell you that.
So you stop there for about 15 minutes, wash off, and then you get back on the buggies and you go right back through all that mud. So again, there's really not no point to wash off, but you go right back all through the mud, and then you get brought to a wash off station. Well, at the wash off station, it's like a little shower, and then they have a hose, and people are literally just sitting there hosing each other off with all that mud. I took the bandana and I tried to do something cute. Girl, it was so muddy and I just felt so sticky and dirty. And then on top of that, those sneakers that I had on was soaking wet for the rest of the day. Make sure that you bring some toe shoes or something. I don't know. Just don't bring those sneakers. After ATV ride, we got on the safari ride, and they take you to feed animals pretty much, and they teach you about Dominican culture and what a typical Dominican house looks like. You get to drink actual Dominican coffee. They show you how they make the coffee. It's pretty much like a cultural experience. And I was in love with these little baby goats, guys. I wanted to take one home so bad. Oh my gosh, the little baby. Yeah, I was obsessed. But after safari ride, we did go and have the Dominican style lunch. It is a buffet, and they just have a lot of Dominican food from you to choose from. I did end up getting put on to a specific soup. It's called sancocho. If you know, you know. If you don't know, you need to go get to know, okay? That is probably some of the best soup I have ever had. Sancocho is so good, and it's now one of my fan favorites, for real, for real. I've literally been dreaming about it since I came back home to the States. They had it at the resort as well, and I literally ate sancocho every single day while I was away in the DR. And this was the only part that pissed me off about La Hacienda Park, is that they give you the Dominican style buffet, but you have to buy your own drinks. If you want water or anything, that is not included in the buffet. So that kind of didn't make sense to me, and it upset me, because I'm like, dang, what I gotta do to get a bottle of water around here? But I guess pay $2, I guess. That's what I had to do. Now for the other excursions, as far as zip lining and horseback riding, you are not allowed to record that at the park, which I didn't get that either. And to be honest, y'all, the zip lining, I have a fear of heights, but I was like, I'm in a different country, let me challenge myself. And I ended up getting on the zip lining, y'all. That it was so high. First of all, it was so high. And I literally ended up having a full-blown panic attack. Like, seriously, people was just looking at me, and I was up there screaming and crying. You were so high up in the air. I felt like I was going to touch the freaking clouds. I thought I was going to be up there flying with the airplanes, y'all. It was crazy. But here's the pictures of our entire time at the park. I told you guys there's a photographer that follows you around, and these is all the pictures that he got. All right, so that includes the excursions. I did go back and I changed into something real cute because I felt real dirty. And then we ended up going out to eat at Oh, by the way, I got this from one of the souvenir shops in the DR, and I thought that it was so pretty. I should have got one in every color. But we did go out to eat at the Santa Fe Steakhouse. You do have to make a reservation for this one. I wish I would have made plenty more reservations at plenty more restaurants, but I really did enjoy this one. I personally liked it. My husband didn't, but I enjoyed it. So pretty much how it works is that they hand you the menu for the restaurant. You obviously order from the menu, but they also have a buffet inside of the restaurant as well. And no, you don't have to pay for anything extra. This is a part of your all-inclusive package when you book your all-inclusive package. So I personally thought it was good. Their buffet in the restaurant also had a lot of options to choose from in this one as well. Just like the downstairs buffet, they both had a lot to choose from. And they also had a lot more desserts inside of this restaurant. So we all ended up ordering the same thing, which was the Santa Fe steak, and it was a New York strip steak, and it had some type of salad and a loaded baked potato. It was pretty small to me for that to be a loaded baked potato, but that's why Americans is so big and everybody else be so little, because, you know, we don't have no type of portion control at all. But the loaded baked potato was really good. I asked them for another one and they brought me another one. My husband likes to eat his steaks medium, and I don't do that. That's a little bit too pink for me. I like to eat mine medium well. Yeah, he can have all that blood and stuff. You might as well just go ahead and eat the cow. But we did end up going out later on. We went back to the resort, and they had a lot of night festivities going on. People was out dancing. They had a live band. We were back on the adults only side of the resort. Let me say that. That's why you don't see any kids or anything. We were back on our side of the resort. But whatever band this was, the people was loving it, because they started tearing down whatever dance this is. My sister-in-law knows it because she was tearing the floor up, okay? There is a club on the resort, but it was on the side with the kids, which didn't make sense to me. You would think that the club would be on the adults only side, but it was inside of the casino. I just didn't get any video footage of it. We did go. We went multiple times. I was lit, girl. We actually ended up going to the club right after this, actually. But we ended up getting up first thing in the morning. We had us some more drinks, and we walked around the resort a little bit more. We ended up stumbling across a cigar shop where they were actually rolling the cigars in front of us. So that was a cool experience to actually see that happen, because I've never seen a cigar made in front of me like that before. I tipped the man. I gave him a good little tip because he let me have 2 of the ones that he made. But my husband wanted a cigar for the casino later that night. I had just thought that it was so interesting to actually see this. I was like so fascinated. And the guy also really wanted my husband to try it. I don't really know that cigar lingo, but apparently it's a good smoke. So he really wanted my husband to try it, which he let my husband do that. So that's another reason why I ended up tipping him. I went back and tipped him an extra $20 just because he did that. But like I said, my husband wanted to get some cigars so that he could smoke them at the casino, which we ended up going to later that night. I was hoping that we was going to win something, but we didn't win jiggity squat. I mean, we literally won nothing at all. But yeah, we walked around for a little bit, and look at this. Ain't my husband fine, y'all? Y'all better tell that man he fine.
So handsome.
But other than my man, let me tell you guys what I had an addiction to while I was at the resort. While I was getting my drinks at the bar, I was telling the man that I loved olives, and the bartender was like, okay, hold on for a second. So he brought me an olive martini, and it was literally just limes, olives, salt, and Worcestershire sauce. And I was addicted. I ate them literally every day, and my mother-in-law was asking me if I was pregnant. But yeah, that was our time in the DR. We was leaving our resort. We called our taxi man, which I hope you guys end up getting him. I don't really know his name, but I called him the Aguacate man because he literally always had an avocado with him, and he was always eating avocados, but he was so cool. And also, not to mention, y'all, a lot of the taxis that we did get into, because there was 2 times when the taxi man wasn't available, and so we did call a different taxi, and they were so dirty. Like, they were literally so dirty. But his taxi was the cleanest.
Inside, but this was the cleanest and bestest taxi. And te amo, gracias. Adios.
He was literally the sweetest man. I even went and stopped and got him more avocados before I left too. All right, y'all. So that's a wrap for today's vlog. That concludes our DR trip. We made it through the airport and everything was running smooth. Customs really wasn't that bad. I hope you enjoyed coming along for the ride. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out on the next one, because we have another trip coming. We leave on Tuesday and we're going to, drumroll please,
Smoke on the balcony like that?
I guess.
Of course they're gonna smoke on the balcony. Why wouldn't they? We're in the Dominican Republic.
Why is it doing? Hey, bitch! We out here in the Bahamas. We turned up. We having some.
Bahamas?
Yeah.
We're in Santo Domingo.
I'm sorry.
Damn, I'm even wrong.
Restart. Hey, bitch! We out here in Santo Domingo.
Punta Cana.
Punta Cana. We turned up. We're having some drinks. We're out here on the banana boat. We going to go parasail. Yeah, that's it.